Well, hello, folks. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Glad to be back with you. I do hope that you had a chance to see the show that we just did with Tamu Ngina talking about the tarot. It was a great show. I enjoyed it. We had a lot of good stuff to talk about, and I hope that we get a chance to have some good talk here in this show. What I want to talk about today is I want to talk about, and there's already people in the chat room, which is pretty awesome. I like to talk about eschatological espionage. And somebody says, Jeff, what the heck is eschatological espionage? Well, it relates to this whole craze that's going on right now, this whole craze that we're talking about. This craze that we're talking about with this September 23 Revelation 12 sign, this craze that we're talking about with the eclipses and the full moons. And here's the thing I want you to know. The people that are promoting all of this eschatological silliness understand the importance. They understand what's going on. They understand the potential of these particular events. They understand the potential of them. They understand that. Let's just take this, for example, and we'll have Heidi Vandenberg on Thursday night to talk about this. Let's take, for example, the potential of this month of August. This month of August of course, it has a new moon and it has a full moon. But especially interesting for this month, and I'm no astrologer, but I know a thing or two. In this month, the full moon, the new moon, they're both in Aquarius, which makes them very, very powerful, or potentially so. So you can actually leverage the power of this full moon, this new moon, to make changes in your life. We did a video about that. You can actually make it a turning point. You can actually make it a time of moving forward and moving out. And in this month, of course, we also have a lunar eclipse. Already had one, or it's in process. That's also a great time to leverage for your spiritual growth. And then, of course, on the 23rd, we've got the solar eclipse. And that is also a great time to leverage for your spiritual growth. Now, coming up on next month, we've got this end of the world. Oh, God. We got the September 23rd thing, which is going to be the rapture. It's going to be the second coming. It's going to be the tribulation. It's going to be the whole 9 yards. And yes, we are going to be live streaming from 10 p.m. till midnight on the East Coast, the live rapture countdown with Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, and friends. Make plans to be with us on the night of September 23rd. As September 23rd drifts away, of course, I wanted to be the last 2 hours of that day because, that's probably when the rapture is going to come, because he said, watch, because you don't know if he comes at midnight. But in any rate, it's also linked up with the Jewish high holy days, specifically tabernacles, specifically trumpets. And that's always been the days that these guys try to link their stuff up with. And it's interesting because tabernacles, under the old Jewish economy, and I used to be a feast-keeping Pentecostal. That means that I celebrated the holy days, the high holy days. Now, if I was going to celebrate anything, I probably still would, because they do have interesting typology. Tabernacles means that, and this is another reason why I believe that Christ did come, tabernacles means God, the divine, came and tabernacled with man. You go out, if you're a Jew, you go live in tents. If you're a Seventh-day Pentecostal Sabbath keeper, you go and you have like a camp meeting somewhere. So the divine coming down and tabernacling with man, or in a body, which is what I believe the Elohim, the Word, did when he came and manifested as the Christ. Can't prove it. Just think it, believe it. If you don't believe it, that's okay. It's something that I know that I cannot prove, and I'm okay with admitting that. But I still believe it. And even if it didn't happen, the message came through, and that's the important thing. So he tabernacled. And then trumpets is, it's the coming back. It's the second coming. It's the rapture. No, it's really the blowing of trumpets symbolizes that you're going to go out and move out. It's like moving out to war, but not in a fight, or maybe it is a fight. You're going out to war against the system of this world, and you're being called up to a higher place. So they understand that tabernacles has a powerful meaning. They understand that trumpets has a powerful meaning. They understand that the new moons of every month are powerful for you, but especially those in a month like this, where they come in the sign of Aquarius. They know the lunar eclipses are important. They know the solar eclipses are important. So it's not any surprise that all of these movements, and I'm going to see if I can't share my screen. It's no surprise that all of these movements use these days and times. Great goodness. Let's see if I can't somehow find a way to get to this. It's no surprise that these movements use this stuff to try to get to a place and interrupt our interrupt what we want to do. They try to interrupt our stuff. So hopefully you can see that. That is Ignatius Loyola. And he's the one that started all this eschatological espionage. He was a Jesuit. You can see there he was a former soldier. And yes, the Jesuits have armor. So here he was, a Jesuit. And he's the one that said, you know what? We've got to protect the Pope. These Protestant reformers are saying the Pope is the Antichrist, that Catholicism is the seat of Antichrist, and we've got to do something about it. So what they did, and let's see if we actually can see Loyola on the screen. I don't know if I can really figure it out, but I'm going to try and see if I can figure it out. He's there! Hooray! But he's not there anymore, so I'll go back. So anyway, Loyola, where'd he go? There he is. Come on. So Loyola started this whole thing of the Jesuits. And he wasn't alone. He had his buddy Francisco Ribera, a.k.a. Scott Clark, EMF Ministries. And Ribera is the one that actually wrote the book that detailed all of the eschatological escapades, the one that taught that Revelation was future, the one that taught Daniel's 70th week was future, the one that taught the rapture was future, the one that taught the tribulation was future, the one that taught the Antichrist was future, the one that taught the second coming was future. The Christ said, oh no, that stuff is all past, or it's not going to happen. The historicist teaching of the church, no, it's already passed. It's been fulfilled in the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church is the Antichrist, with the Pope specifically. But this guy, Loyola, and this guy, Loyola was the boss. He hires this guy, Ribera, to write the book. But these are not stupid people, because they also draft Saint Teresa. Saint Teresa was one of the leading mystics of her day. This lady spoke in tongues. This lady had visions. And I wonder if she was really that pretty. This lady had visions, spoke in tongues, healing. And it was if you heard the September 23rd Revelation 12 sign videos, I recommend you go look at those. She was an integral part of the eschatological espionage. But it's no secret that these guys, and here's Martin Luther, of course, nailing his thesis up on the door of Wittenberg Chapel. I've actually stood at that door, which looks remarkably like it. I wonder if that's really the real door. And they filmed, this looked like it was a movie, because that's, you've seen this actor 100 times, but he's really, really young there. And he's the one that started saying the Pope is the Antichrist. That was at least the co-main message of the Reformation. So it's no surprise when this is William Miller's chart, when these people start tying together, when they have eschatology, they tie together the new moons, they tie together trumpets, they tie together tabernacles, they tie together these things that they know are good for us, because they're trying to take our attention away from the things that are good for us and focus instead on silliness. This is the Jehovah's Witness guy. They did the same thing. They were prophesying 1914 was going to be the end. This is part of Judge Rutherford's tour announcing that 1914 was going to be the end. And again, linked up with tabernacles, linked up with trumpets, linked up with the Jewish festivals. And here's Schofield. Schofield's the one that heard the lady speak in tongues in Scotland, put it in his Schofield Reference Bible, the pre-tribulation rapture, and here we are. 88 reasons why the rapture will be in 1988. Do I know what I'm talking about, folks, or do I know what I'm talking about? Look at this, Feast of Trumpets. They tie it together because they know this is something that can give you great spiritual insight, but instead of letting you get spiritual insight, the eschatological espionage gives you 88 reasons why the rapture will be in 1988 to take the function or the focus off of this. And they're all trying to get your focus off of the real thing and put you on these super cool looking charts. All of this is such fanciful speculation that was unheard of until Francisco Ribera, Ignatius Loyola, and Saint Teresa put their heads together and invented all of this stuff. Understand that they invented all of this. They invented all of this. And this always gets brought in. This is from the 2015, oh my God, the world is ending. The blood moons. Now, again, these type of eclipses do offer us opportunities. And Heidi's going to talk more about this. The opportunities that you can leverage in eclipses, the opportunities that you can leverage in full moons, the opportunities you can leverage in new moons. But they instead want to tie it to the Lord's perfect signs of woe and end of the world. And it never happens. And guess what? September 23, 2017 is going to be just the same way. Nothing's happening on the eclipse this month. Nothing's happening on the eclipse next month. I'll guarantee you this, September 23 will be the last day before September 24, guaranteed. And they all use these signs, this imagery. This is the September 23 imagery. This is the book I wrote about it. And folks, we've just got to learn to be better than this. We've got to learn to get beyond this. But to do that, to learn why they want us to be involved in this, because they know that there's power for spiritual growth and self-improvement in these celestial events. I'm looking at my notes. That's why they try to take our focus off the spirituality of them. That's why they try to take our focus off the learning and get us onto the yearning. They try to get us onto this craziness about the end of the world and stuff like that. And you know what? Francisco Ribera, Ignatius Loyola, Saint Teresa, they were even smarter than I thought they were. Because not only did they start this book to protect the Catholic Church and start preaching about signs to protect the Catholic Church, but they even said, let's link them up with the holy days that contain messages of inspiration and power for people. So let's have people looking for signs in relation to the holy days, which actually could help them. So let's not only disrupt the historicist position of the church, let's not only contradict the Christ, let's not only contradict all of the major Protestant reformers, let's also make sure that we contradict the Moad that the Elohim themselves put into place in Genesis 1:14, I believe, so that people will miss it. Because Genesis 1:14 says the celestial signs were put there, and not the signs, that celestial banners, doorposts, things that are there forever, sun, moon, stars, so that we'll know the glory of God. Not that we'll know some stupid coming where he said there wasn't going to be an outward sign. But it pulls our focus from how we can help ourselves. You ready for this? You knew that I was going to work this in somehow. It pulls our focus out of analytical mind Analytical mind helps us understand, what can I do to improve? It pulls us out of analytical mind, which is what we'd be in if it weren't for these eschatological agents of espionage. It pulls us out of analytical mind into fight or flight mind. Oh my God, the rapture is going to come. Do I fight or do I run? Oh my God, the tribulation is going to come. Do I fight or do I run? Oh my God, Antichrist is going to come. Do I fight or do I run? Fight is if you may have to go through the tribulation. Run is if you get raptured out in the Holy Ghost airlift. Do you see what's going on? It's deeper than just trying to deceive us. It's deeper than just trying to get us chasing after signs. That's the main thing. But then there's people like us that should know better, and we still get carried away. And the whole end of their agenda is accomplished because we're not taking advantage and leveraging these celestial events for the potential moments of breakthrough and spiritual growth that they afford us. And I'm not on here trying to prove I'm right. Well, I'm trying to prove I'm right in order to help you get yourself right. Because if you're focused on September 23, if you're focused on all the eclipses and stuff, you're not going to have time to focus on getting yourself right. And this month is a tremendous opportunity. I hope you'll be with us with Heidi on Thursday to leverage this stuff. And I mean, even good people start talking about, oh my God, here's this, here's that, because it's a great way to get a lot of people to your show on YouTube, but it's also a great way to keep people from focusing on the right things. So that's what eschatological espionage is all about. That's layer 2 of eschatological espionage. Layer 1 is, let's get rid of the historical teaching of the church. Let's get rid of the teaching of the Protestant reformers. Let's get rid of the teachings of the Christ. Let's get rid of the plain teachings of the scripture. And let's throw this fantastical eschatology, end time, rebuild temples, future Antichrist, future tribulation, future rapture, all of that stuff to distract people. And here's the second layer. Let's tie them to these great celestial events that do have power for these people to leverage for their own spiritual growth. And let's take even that away from them. Let's corrupt even that. And that's the plan of the eschatological agents of espionage. I think when I put this up on YouTube, once it's not live, I'm going to change it to eschatological agents of espionage. All righty then. So let's go back and let's see if we can't get in and take a look at the chat roomo. What does this show on my screen when I do that? Oh, just me. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at the chat roomo. Let me go back up to the top. Oops, I was still texting folks in chat. That's carryover from the last one. Just have to wait for the next lesson. Here I am. See you there. I'm new to this channel. Fantastic. Hey, Jeff, I have a question, something to share. May I send you an email? Yes, Jennifer Fuller. ChristianWhistleBlower@gmail.com. ChristianWhistleBlower@gmail.com. I was one of the kids that Stormy Jackson abducted every year, but I was one of the lucky ones rescued. Hi, Stormy. I need my analytical mind tuned up. Paul Lee, I'm your guy. I can help you. I discern Jeff to be credible. Thank you very, very, very much. I have thought about emailing Jeff. Do it, Stormy Jackson, ChristianWhistleBlower@gmail.com. This is kind of we'll get past this. Okay. I'm just trying to get to the top of the chat so I can answer all of your questions. So I can answer all of your questions. Let me get up there. I think this is it. All righty then. Live stream machine. That's me. Francisco Rivera, John Nelson Darby, Black Magicians of the highest caliber. Very good input, Connie Lingus. Thank you. Oh, that's funny. I see what you did there. Naughty, naughty boy. Lyndon, how you doing, brother? Good evening to you. Just in time for the rapture. Yeah, you didn't miss it, Rhonda. No blood moon. Can't really be of God then, right? Every year there's an end of the world date. There definitely is. Pretzer 62. It's my pleasure, Stormy Jackson. I love to do this stuff. OMG, you're joking. That's genius. Yeah. Good evening, Troy. Glad you're listening. Where are we going to meet for the end of the world party? I was going to do a live show here and have like 4, 5, 6, 7 guests on for 2 hours and do an end of the world countdown. Bourbon Street is not a bad idea. I used to celebrate. We've talked about this, Rocker Chick. I used to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles and the Feast of Trumpets back in the Dizzle. Me too, but I wasn't coming from your perspective. We were much more spiritual. We were Seventh-day Pentecostal Sabbath keepers. That's funny, isn't it? It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Abso-damn-lutely, Jolie. Sounds like a good plan. Let's have a party and transcend this. I like it. Lived there for 2 years. I guess in Nolans, never missed a party or a parade. They're pushing fear as usual. You're right, Lyndon. Fantastic. Never been to one. Transcending is getting out of the signs and symbols for the end. For those who seek after signs are what? Wicked and adulterous, or perverse and adulterous, according to the Christ. Foot soldiers for the true Ha-Satan. Yes, they are. Connie Lingus. I see what you did there. Hurricanes all around, my favorite alcoholic beverage. That's a bad dude. Not sure who's a bad dude. She has Jesus on a stick. Man, I got that book and watch that stream. Got to get that book and watch that stream. All right. Probably still a lot of carpal, but yeah, a lot of that going on. I wonder if there will be some who will be awake for 24 hours. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will. We're going down to the highway through hell to build a stairway to heaven. I like it. Escargotology. It's coming very slowly. Oh, I like what you did with that. It's like snail eschatology. Like it, like it, like it. Hate escargot, though. Yuck. Man, Jeff is right for the Jesuit. I still haven't looked that up, the Jesuits NFL logo, NFL crest. Let me write that down so I'll look it up after this show. I prefer escargot over eschatology. Bam. Good one, Lyndon. Very, 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 very well. We are drowned in fear porn. Rhonda, you're absolutely correct. Fear-based control mechanisms. You're absolutely correct, Lyndon. Rocker Chick. So if people are in fear, they won't try to use this time for spiritual growth. Hey, yes, ma'am. You got it right. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Somebody give that girl a hurricane. The fear is paralytic. It's designed to be paralytic. This does make sense. Thank you. Thank you very much. The mafia created the NFL, who are in turn created by Jesuits, whose genesis was a man who was a Jesuit professor who created the Bavarian Illuminati. But that's none of my business. I like it. You know you are right, huh, Jeff? I do. Guess I'll have to order that jetpack after all. They could see OT love their symbols. Drop kick me Jesus to the goalpost of life. I like it. Give Mother Nature some love. Abso-damn-lutely. I'm all about that. Give Mother Nature some love. Energy flows where attention goes. That's a cliche, but it's a good one. Gives a whole new meaning to Jesus. Take the wheel. Plastic Jesus, take the wheel. Take it from my hands. Take my brain while you're at it. I don't really know the song, so that's all I know. Thank you, Connie Lingus. I appreciate it. I'm tired. Thank you, Matt. I'm tired of the fear. Me too. I was confused about your channel. I listened more, and thank you. Thank you, From Here to Eternity, which was a great book, which I've actually read. The best truth is hidden in the same sentence as disinformation. Absolutely. I'll brew the Kool-Aid. Oh, Bourbon. Rocker Chick just says Bourbon Street because, well, I can't disclose personal information. Sorry about that. She likes Bourbon Street. Thank you. I look forward to my streams as well. Matt Bryant, very powerful. Have you read the Epistle of Barnabas? Yes. I like this place already. Awesome. In the streets, the children screamed, the lovers cried, the poets dreamed, but not a word was spoken. All the church bells were be broken. Are you actually quoting the words, Colin James McIntosh, of I Wish We'd All Been Ready, the song from the movie A Thief in the Night that scared 1 million people into the church? Shiana Living Waters, we're making a second coming. Deb Schiller likes Bourbon Street too. Well, we got through the chat room. I appreciate your attendance. And if you want to fire off a couple more questions at me, I am game. But we have talked today about the eschatological agents of espionage and how they not only throw out signs that were unknown to the historical church, signs that were unknown to the Protestant reformers, and signs that were unknown to the Christ. And in fact, signs the Christ said would not occur to get us off track, but they also leverage even the moad that the Elohim created. That's a Bible word for you, Genesis 1:14. It's called the moad. And try to take that blessing away from us as well. Bye-bye, American Pie Day, the last church. Oh, Colin James, man, you really got some insight into some interestingly, it's interesting, but it's so subjective. Where do you get this stuff, man? It's interesting. It really is. But at any rate, I've got some live shows coming up this week. We've got Stephen Harefield, American Monk. We've got Heidi, her last name just flew my mind, Vandenberg, astrologist extraordinaire. I'll be on a live show, I believe, with Rex Bear and from the Holy Spirit. With Rex Bear and R. Wayne Steiger. And it seems like we got somebody else coming up too that has slipped my pea-sized brain. Can't recall right now. We just had Talmu Ngina talking about the suppressed history of the Right-Waiter Tarot deck. That was very interesting. Was man, woman fearfully and wonderfully made, or made simply fearful? Lyndon is on a roll tonight. We were fearfully and wonderfully made, but now they just want us made fearful. Isn't that wonderful? See what I did with that, Lyndon? Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Ozzy Osbourne. Is that the Holy Trinity of hard rock? Colin James, let's not preach. You got to be in the flow. Stormy Jackson, Jeff, I'm seeing a ton of Christian fear-mongering going on. Quail is like on fire with his stuff. Is Quail a fear-monger? I've never looked at him. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because of all this fear-mongering. I'm trying to counter it. Just talked to Heidi, had my chart read. She was truly amazing. I'm serious. She blew my mind. She gave me some great advice. Perfecto. She'll be on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Be here or be not here and really missing out. Lyndon, awesomeness. You're on a roll tonight, brother. Rocker Chick loves Ozzy. Of course she does. On a buttered roll. Just call me Butter because I'm on a roll. It's up there for sure. Stormy loves Ozzy. Rocker Chick loves you. Awesome. She's done mine, my daughters, and my sons. She's fantastic. I assume we're still talking about Heidi. You asked where I'd get it. I answered. I wasn't preaching. Yeah, but I asked one question. You answered it 4 times. So I get you. The sun drizzled like butter over his sweet corn pods. Quail is a hardcore fearmonger. Yeah. I think she's already doing it, Rocker Chick, because she wants to bring it out on the show. She asked me when I was born and stuff. I won a contest for my chart. Oh, nice. What will all the religious do when nothing happens on 9/23? You know what they'll actually do, Shaina? If they had the integrity, they would close down their channel and say, I'm a false prophet. I predicted something that didn't happen, so I'm closing down my channel because I can no longer come to you having been proven a false prophet. But they'll either A, come up with some stupid excuse And B, like Connie Lingus, I still see what you're doing with that, and set another date. Because they don't have any integrity. They don't have any integrity. Colin James McIntosh, a good Christian, doesn't set any dates. And neither does a bad one. So what you're telling me, Colin James, is all the people that are setting dates aren't good Christians. And come to the Jeff channel. I hope so. These wastrel panderers. See, Kay, are you falling into the fear by wanting to keep an eye on CERN on 923? I'm not any more concerned about CERN on 923 than I am on 8.8. I mean, I have a level of concern, but Connie Lingus, are you Christ warned about what? Regarding the signs, the Pharisees came to Christ and said, bro, I got you, Kay. What are the signs of your coming? And you know what the Christ said? Look it up. It's in the book of Luke. I'm going to make you look it up. I'm not going to tell you. He said, the kingdom doesn't come with any observable signs. People won't be able to say, look over there. People won't be able to say, look over there, because the kingdom does not come with observable signs. Boom. And then in a Holy Ghost mic drop, he said, and it's the wicked and the adulterous generation that seeks after a sign. What? Pin drop. Thank you, Lyndon. So there you go with that. I just said this about that. All right, folks. I appreciate you being here. Do we have any other questions that you'd like to address, or should we just move on? Colin James, he's not coming on clouds. That's a sign. And it's not true. Get that corn out of my face. Colin McIntosh got the first corn out of my face of the evening. I got to see where this comes up on the screen. I'm on a little bit of a delay. There it is. Down, Jeff. There you go. Get that corn out of my face. Yeah, I can agree that something might be up with CERN, but it has become fear porn. And the rat bastard does have some fancy toys. Absolutely. Thanks to Robin out in Hawaii for making these little signs and sending them to me. Zippy you are, Jeff. Oh, thanks. I think I like being zippy. Colin James McIntosh. You can only lead a camel to water. And you can only lead a person to truth. You can't make them think. Oh, I like that, Kay. I like what you did with that. The rat bastard. Because he's, oh, don't get Colin started on Batman. I think he went with the whole Batman thing with me once about Batman and Jesus. I don't know if that was him, but somebody was like rolling with Batman and Jesus, or Batman and, yeah, I think it was Jesus or the Christ or something. It was interesting, but it was so highly speculative that I can't agree with stuff like that. I put my name on the line. I look like a fool. No, yeah, I'm just kidding with you. Oh, but you can't make it drink. Yeah, exactly. I'm texting at under the table at a dinner party. Oh, that's awesome. All right, guys. I mean, we could do this all night, but I don't want to hold you over. I thought I had one more show that I wanted to do before the night was through. But I'm having fun hanging out here with you. What's a guy to do? Whoa. All right, anybody else got any questions? Anybody else got any answers? Eschatological. Agents of espionage. Make sure you don't fall for their silly tricks. Focus on what you can positively leverage in these times. Don't buy the fear porn. Tell them, get that con out of my face. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. It is a pleasure being with you. I hope you'll continue to unwind your mind, unindoctrinate yourself, be your own guru, and guide your own spirit. And to those of you that are here, you are respecters of truth. And in all sincerity, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, and I salute you.